Hi, I'm Renee Seltzer. In today's episode, I wanted to go through this really cool product. So sorry you haven't seen a lot of me. It's been really insanely crazy and COVID hasn't made it any better. But I'm really excited to introduce this to you. So in my whole series, I really cover all the do's and don'ts to kind of help reduce the chances your kid's going to be a picky eater, or what to do to keep your sanity when your kid is a picky eater. One of the things that nobody ever, really kind of set the expectation is how hard it is to feed your kid. And you have to do it 3 times a day for 18 years, and it's maddening, not including all the dishes that come along with it, and thinking about what you have to feed them. This kid's gonna eat this, but this kid won't eat that. I'm with you. I have 3 kids. It is maddening, especially now with COVID. We're all kind of stuck at home a lot more. So this might actually be a really cool thing. It's by Bill B and Bear. You can get it on Amazon, so I'm going to have all the links below. So be sure to check it out. But let me walk you through why it's so awesome. Not only is it just kind of fun, but it has this one of my other videos. I cover the importance of toothpicks. So it comes with a set of toothpicks. They're like super cute, and especially if you have a sports fanatic. And one of my kids is super obsessed with sports, and now he says he's going to be a pro baseball player. I'm like, kid, eat your broccoli, but he's super into sports, so this could be more perfect for him. But toothpicks are a fun way to get kids to try their food. So sometimes when I use toothpicks all the time, and we do it with like maybe little chicken bites or vegetables, and they're awesome. So I love that this comes with that. So let me walk you through the whole thing because it's really cool. So like I mentioned, you get these really awesome toothpicks, and toothpicks, no matter if you get this set or not, are amazing for picky eaters. So make sure you add that to your arsenal on ways that you can get kids to eat. And I was always worried that they're going to stab each other in the eye or their sibling. Mine have always been really safe with it. So, but you have to really kind of judge your kid. Okay, so let's look at the plate right here. How cool is this? It's got little compartments, right? And you can kind of eat based on here's field day and penalty and sack and touchdown and cheerleader and halftime show. And then this is where, for the field. And then, so it's really cute. Another picky eating tip is if your kids are picky eaters and they require it being separated, that's good. That's fine. Go with that. If your kids are young and they're not especially picky, try to put all the food in one grouping. Obviously, if there's something that might like drip, like a peaches that came out of a can or something, you might want to separate that. But do your best to kind of smush them all together as much as kids can tolerate. Because if you start out early separating them, then they demand it, and then they won't ever touch the food if it was touching something else. My husband's in his 40s, and he's still super weird about that. And long before I started feeding my kid, I would look at him thinking, oh my God, he eats like a 5-year-old because they can't touch. So, and he eats one at a time, which is these are called like food jags, and that all starts from like childhood. And look at him, he hasn't outgrown it. So do your best to kind of smush them all together where you can. But this plate really works well for everybody. So if your kid's already like that, and I could say my twins are kind of like that because I didn't know all these tips that I'm sharing with you guys. And they're getting a little bit better, but my youngest one that I applied all of my knowledge to is awesome. And I could pretty much stomp on it with my foot and he'd be happy eating it. So really, you can reduce the chances your kid's going to be a picky eater. Temperament plays a role, but enlisting the right strategies early on makes a real big impact. Okay. The next thing to kind of make food fun, let's just take a step back on why you want to make food fun. The more that you pressure kids to eat, you're like, eat your broccoli or you can't get off the table, that extra bite of broccoli that you got them to eat and then they resent or they kind of get grossed out by it, that doesn't equal the amount of nutrition they got from that piece of broccoli. So really kind of back up, make food really fun. That's why this is such a stellar set. Is the more they'll lower their guard while they're eating, you'll be able to take a really big deep breath while you're at the table, and everyone will enjoy the vibe so much more. So just lower your guard, make it more fun. Use something like this. See, they get to spin. And then maybe if you do have your food once in a while split up, then when it spins, it says, okay, eat this one. And then they take a bite of this one or eat that one. So I say that like you don't always need to use a spinner and make it a game every single time. So sometimes you have all the food sitting here because kids don't eat that much. They don't need all of this. And sometimes you do have a little bit, you know, maybe you have broccoli here and some peppers cut up here and maybe a little noodles, or depending. I use black bean noodles and my kids love it, and they would never eat a black bean on their own. At least the two won't, the little guy will. So eating like the bean noodles is kind of the way that I get more fiber in them. But you know, you could spin them and put, you know, some fruit. You could put Oreos here too. I mean, or whatever the sweet is for your kids. So when they spin it, it can land on the Oreo first and they'd be like, yeah, touchdown, you know, and it's so exciting. So don't feel like it all has to be eaten and then they get dessert. Put the dessert here and make it super fun because they never know which one they're going to get. So again, I can't say enough good things about this. The links on how to buy it are going to be below. If you have any questions, if you have picky eating tips that have worked for you, if you don't know how to overcome a specific issue, go ahead and write it in the comments below. Maybe I'll create my next video just to help your problem, and other people will have the same problem too that they have to overcome. And then also cut yourself a break. If your kids are eating a lot more nachos these days because of COVID, that's okay. Right now, sanity is really the paramount, right? So if your kids aren't eating as well as they like, that's okay. Take a sigh of relief. This too shall pass. But you are spending a lot more time with your kids and they're home a lot more. So this can be a really good chance to actually get them to eat more nutritiously because you have a little bit more control of what they're eating. You know, if you're always going out, then they could order French fries everywhere they go. So stay tuned for more picky eating tips. I hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to subscribe. And we also have Feeding My Kid group. So be sure to join that one and you can just ask your questions in there too. Bye. Thanks again.